war on Iran, some of them, as has the President of the United States. The Republican candidates, including Giuliani and the others, are talking about using nuclear weapons, tactical atomic weapons on Iran to rip it of nuclear weapons when it stopped its own program 4 years ago. This is incredible.
Does Congress need to subpoena Condoleezza Rice and Stephen Hadley and the director of the CIA and the Secretary of Defense and ask them what they knew and when they knew it?
Exactly. And the President of the United States should tell us what he knew and when he knew it. What he said yesterday is non-credible. That the head of the CIA walks in and said, we got new intelligence on Iran, and Bush doesn't ask him, what exactly are you talking about, new intelligence? That's not credible. But, Joe, you're exactly right. Biden ought to get off the campaign trail, get back here, chair that committee, and say, look, what exactly were you told? And bring up the CIA and bring up Negroponte. He was the #1 guy in intelligence. This is, I mean, look, we are being stampeded toward war with Iran, the second war in this administration, on the basis of intelligence which was false. And that is incredible. It looks as though the Iranians, when they said this may be a peaceful nuclear program, may have been telling the truth.
If Stephen Hadley and Condoleezza Rice and Gates and all of these other people knew then, while the president was ramping us up to war and talking about the possibility of World War III and allowing our allies in Europe to climb back on board with America finally, but allowed him to do that and didn't say anything, you think they should be fired today?
Well, no, look, I'm not going to fire anybody today. I want to find out the entire truth of what these people knew and when they knew it. It suggests to me, Joe, the Gates, Fox Fallon group, and the Pentagon generals and the others basically are against a war. And they said, this guy is driving us to war. And somebody said, let's get this intelligence out and blow a hole in the policy of our administration, which is to go toward war. But that raises another question. Why is the president and why is Cheney and why are the neocons and why are all the others driving us to war if they knew that Iran had stopped its program 4 years ago? This is incredible.
Pat,
yeah.
you've served more time in White Houses in time of crisis than anybody I know. Answer that question. Why? Why drive us to war?
I think there has been an agenda of war on Iraq and Iran, which predated this administration, into which George Bush brought sometime after 9/11 and after the Afghan triumph. It is ideologically driven. It is driven by strategic reasons. And as that British memo, the Downing Street memo says, they fix the intelligence around the policy. You cherry the intelligence, it makes the policy credible, then you stampede the American people into war. We've happened once, and it's almost was about to happen again.
If not, as you say, probably if not for Secretary of Defense Robert Gates and some other people that said, not a second time.
Exactly. I think these folks are, you saw Fox Fallon about a month ago, he said the people screaming for war are doing us no service. He was talking about the President and Vice President of the United States.
Yeah.